Hey, I'm inside your head now again. Back over at the boat today, doing some more work on it. Got the hatch lids out. It's afternoon, it just almost thunderstormed on me before, but now it's okay. I've been finishing cleaning off all the glue from the grip tape. I've cleaned the majority of that off. Finished up the other side as well. So it's starting to look ready to go. Got myself a nice thin piece of wood to glue in place for the hatch lids. It's like a quarter round or whatever it is. They were all rotten in this gap here. Like, yeah, so I really needed replacing. It's just this one back piece which I'm gonna glue in with epoxy on both sides, and I'm just going to paint it with epoxy so it doesn't rot. All this rubbish came out of there. It's well and truly done for. I dug most of it out with this chisel, real small chisel, fit in there really good, and then I wire brushed it out with this. And now I'm going to go in there with a 40 sandpaper and just rough it up so of course when I'm just about to do the epoxy it's going to rain, so I'll see how I go. I'll just do it and cover it up, it should be right. Washed it off with acetone, so it's all nice and cleaned up now. Yeah, so here goes. Mix up some resin, paint it on inside the surfaces. Got some thickening agent, and I'll thicken it up, and then I'll put the wood in, and then I'll just paint the thickened resin up all over the wood. A bit of tape goes in that one, and then a bit of tape in this one and this one before I mixed up too much resin, but now I'm like worried about how much resin I got for the other side. I've got most of the gaps along the top filled. It's just a couple of gaps down the bottom and where I put the tape, so that in those places I'll just get some filler. This side I've got a bit of a problem because it has to have 2 extra pieces on the outside. I just do my best. the hatch that I did turned out pretty good. This side, I still need to fill in this void in between the hinge here where it connects. Pretty sure I want to use an epoxy filler for that so it's stronger, or actually epoxy with glass fibre in it, just so I can shape it and it lasts a bit longer. Alright, hatch is all screwed on. Worked perfectly. I still have to, it's still a work in progress, but it's gotta take the rubbish out of there too, but it's good enough for this summer. The only work that I did on the boat this winter was this hatch cover here. That's the fly screen for the hatch, and this is the hatch that I renovated. It was pretty worn out. It's still pretty worn out on one side, so this is the inside, and the outside was also like that. But this year I've just painted this outside surface with epoxy primer, and it was starting to rot underneath on the lower section, so I filled that up with thickened epoxy, so now it should hold together for a few more years. And I've got to do something about the frame around the outside, because for some reason the water doesn't come out, it goes into the inside, so I have to do something with this corner just here. So maybe take out a notch there, maybe sand this back and coat it with epoxy as well, because that way it'll stay a good color and won't grey up like that. Oh, but I just thought I'd show you the only thing I did on the boat this winter is to make that hatch a bit more watertight. Yeah, so that looks pretty nice. Still fits in there pretty good, and hopefully the water can make its way out now. So it's getting so thin from where the plugs are to where the screws are. I think if I paint the whole thing, the whole frame, sand it back and paint the whole frame once with epoxy, and then maybe a clear paint for UV protection, I think it should be good. In this corner here, the water just seems to creep in this little gap here in the corner and go into the inside. So I've got a little bit of water damage on the inside just there. But yeah, for longevity, you know, if you just epoxy stuff, I think it just makes the wood last us so much longer, instead of having to sand it back. And in this you can see the sanding marks where it's been sanded back and varnished and sanded back and varnished. So I'll just sand it back one more time and then just hit it with epoxy to seal it up, keep it good for some years. Alright, I'm in this small space underneath the outside cabin, and I just thought I'd show you where the solar wires run. They run to the back there, and then they come across here and they sag down, and it's like, oh, okay, that's no good. I wonder whether I should change that, and then they go up. So what I'm thinking of doing is running it out across the back here, and then down and hug this side, hug the same side the whole way across, put a bit of cable tray, run it in there, run it down that side all the way to the back, instead of crossing over underneath here. Well, after a little bit of struggle, I got the wires through. The new cables run all the way to the back, this one, and this is what the old cable was running through. So in theory I shouldn't lose as much electricity out of the panel now, come back to the charge controller, in theory. I don't know how much that is in practice, but I thought I'd be able to just drag it out, but there's cable ties and all sorts of things holding it in there. I won't be able to just drag it out. I'm not sure how good these stick, but I think if I clean the surface well enough with a bit of acetone, stick the cable up in the spots that I want and clip it in a few spots all the way back to the batteries. I'll do that now and I'll show you the end result after I've finished. I guess that was a fail, but I made it work anyhow. 6 to 8 mil clips, and this is over 10 mil wide. It didn't fit in, so I just split it in half, and that'll have to do. Alright, I'm back from the shop. They have the bigger size clips for the cable, to run the cable, hang it up, which is good. And I got a, what do you call this, shrink wrap. That's perfect. Okay, they only have red in that size and blue in a bigger size. That's kind of crazy. That's really annoying. What red it is. I'll just make it a super short. Of course it doesn't fit in the clip. That would be too easy, wouldn't it? Alright, not using those. I'll just put it back into this. Before I stick it up. Too easy. Nicely done. Yep, that'll do. Need to clean all that out. Need to vacuum all that out in there. I haven't cleaned it up, so I'll do that later. Yep. So got the cables out now. If you're new to my channel, I don't know whether you realise, but I did a lot of work in here last year and put carbon fibre in the base of the hull, all the way from just where the water tray is, just there, all the way to the front where the bow thruster is. So stiffened up the boat and made it a lot stronger. Now those cables sit perfect. Another one gonna go just on the way out here over the back of the top of that, and then through a hole there which I've got to drill, and then up to the charge controller. Well, it turned out okay, but it's still not good. I still need to paint it really badly. And for this summer, I keep it as is. It's just like a dull. You can see this is just like sanding dust now. It hasn't been washed off. But you can see here, there's some really big like scratches. I think it's from when I was trailing it up, something like that, or I don't know. It can't be from the dock when it's been docked here, because all my docking is on the other side, and the other side is not as bad, but it is the morning sun on this side all the time, so it could have been that. There's lots of scratches throughout the whole thing. It definitely needs a new coat of paint, but I'll do the coat of paint after I do the fiberglass strip up here, because I'm going to take everything off them and join them together with a nice couple of fiberglass strips along the top here. I was thinking about doing a carbon fiber strip along the top here as well to stiffen them up, but I think it's kind of best having the flexibility. I'm not sure whether throwing in a carbon strip to make it stiffer is going to do much to it. It's still not 100%, but it's better than it was, so I'm happy with that for this summer. Started wet sanding the tops just to give it an etching so the epoxy primer will stick. Yeah, I have to wash it off yet, but I've got to here, and then here I've still got some old sticky stuff from the grip tape that I've got to get through. And then this is the last bit on one side, and then I switch over to the other side, which is going to be more difficult. But yeah, so got the music playing and just getting it done. I'm using just one of these sort of 100 and what is it, 80 and 60 80 grit sponges to wet sand. It's really hot today, sun's blaring, so yeah, I kind of have to get it done today with the paint, with the primer. Got the paint stuff there. I kind of have to get the primer on today. It's really hot now, but this afternoon it should cool down a bit. I think the brake trailers are locked on. Yeah, I take the hatch off and I'll paint the hatch separately. Hopefully it doesn't thunderstorm this afternoon, but yeah, I got to get it done today because all next week it's raining. Yeah, it was really stuck in a hole over the winter. That's why I have the stands to try to lift it up off the trailer so the trailer doesn't sink in, but it did sink in a lot. So next season I should do what I did at home and put wood underneath the tires so it doesn't sink in so much. But now it's out. Really happy. Now I can get to the side a lot better. And this side, I don't know what it is, but it looks like some sort of clear. See the difference there? And that's nothing that I've done. There's some sort of clear lack on it, and then not on here. It's like, yeah, it's really strange, but I'm just gonna buff that with the scour pad to make it look. There's another little ding that I'll have to fix. Just scuff it with a scour pad to make it look a lot better. But yeah, this side, once it's scuffed with a scour pad, it's pretty good. It's good enough for this season. And then next year I take it home. Maybe I can get it in one of the big sheds that I have and actually work on it in the winter, sanding and whatnot. I wonder if I should take it over to the hose so I can hose it off. I wonder what the difference is. But I think there's a lot of cars in the road, so I stay here now. Alright, nearly done this side. It's taken me about an hour or so. So I've been pretty consistent with it. I just do circles everywhere. Borrowed some ladder that was just laying on the ground over there. It's a much better ladder than I had before. Like, yeah, it's gonna make it way easier to paint. It's like 20 degrees now, so you know my theory behind this, why all this, I don't know whether, I don't think it's gel coat. I think it, you know what I think it is? I think it's just paint, top coat. It is kind of thick, but what my theory is because of the grip tape here, the sand's been coming off the grip tape when the line's attached to that docking line, and each time it rubs the sand off, and then it rubs, the docking line rubs the sand into the paint. That's what I think's been happening. Yep, so now I'm done on it. Now I need to wash it off. Okay people, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. As you see, I'm painting now. Next time I bring out a video, you'll see the end result of painting. Hopefully I can show you some more sailing too in the next few videos. Alright, have a great day. Yeah, like I said to you earlier, I don't care about how the way it looks. It's just the protection that, for me, that it matters. To protect the glasswork, get them off the boat next year. Then I can worry about properly doing a top coat on it. This is just an undercoat, so a primer.